And this ain't about talent. This is about how far you're willing to suffer for the things you want. I ain't smart. I'm not gifted. Never was. I was that kid who couldn't read, couldn't write, had ADHD, probably every damn letter combo you could imagine. The school wanted to ship me off to some special education shit because I wasn't catching up fast enough. That's how this world works. Label you, shove you, and throw you the fuck away. But I said, fuck that. People see me now. They see the books, the pull-ups, the ultras, the SEAL Trident, and they think I'm some freak, some chosen one. Nah, motherfucker, I was just a broken-ass kid with a choice. Stay at the bottom or climb out with bleeding hands and no damn rope. And what that climb looked like. It was me every single fucking day, staring at a book I couldn't understand, copying it word for word until the page was burned into my fucking brain. Not one time, not two. I'm talking over and over and over. Most of you read a paragraph, close the book, and call it a study session. Nah. I read that same damn sentence until it tattooed itself into my memory. Jennifer, she could glance at a page and have it locked. That used to piss me the fuck off. She'd quiz me and learn the shit as she quizzed. And me. I had to bleed for every damn word. But that's the fucking point. I wasn't born for this shit. I made myself for it. I spend 4 or 5 hours a day just trying to stay even. Not ahead, even. I'm out here studying like I got a test tomorrow, when I already passed it. Why? Because my mind is a damn sieve. If I don't grind, I lose it. Every day I'm at war with the version of me that wants to slip. The fat kid, the liar, the coward. There's no carrot at the end of this stick. Ain't no parade waiting. I ain't doing this shit so someone can hand me a gold star. I do this because if I don't, I fucking die inside. Period. People say, man, you're so focused. You think that's a gift. You think I woke up one day with a laser beam brain. Nah, motherfucker, I trained that shit. I used to be all over the place. Couldn't even finish a page without drifting off. But I beat it, slowly, painfully. Every day I dug the trench deeper until my thoughts had nowhere else to go but forward. Man, if you want to learn like me, you better be ready to hurt like me. You want the discipline. You better be ready to give up every bit of comfort in your life. That means when I write notes, I'm not just scribbling. I'm wiring that shit into my brain. I'm seeing the damn page in my head during the test, page 69. Boom. I'm flipping through my mental archive like a fucking machine. People think I'm just some running, yelling maniac. That's what they see online. But they don't see the hours. They don't see me in the dark, hunched over my desk, writing the same shit 30 times just to remember one damn sentence. That ain't sexy. That ain't Instagram worthy. But that's the work. I don't study for the A, I study to survive because I know the second I stop. The second I think I've made it, that fat, insecure little bitch I used to be, he comes clawing back. And I'll be damned if I ever let him take the wheel again. So while most of you are chasing hacks, dopamine boosts, motivation videos, I'm in the trenches. No music, no hype, just me in the grind. No magic pill, no shortcut, just fucking suffering. And here's the real shit. I don't even have to do this shit anymore. I'm 49, I'm a multimillionaire. I could sit back, eat steaks, post quotes, collect checks, but I fucking don't. Because I remember what it was like being at the bottom. And if I stop, I'll go back. Every day I wake up, I hear that old voice. You're not that smart, Goggins. This ain't you, man. And you ain't built for this. And you know what I say? Watch me, you weren't born for this. Good, then earn it. Man, you want to know the truth. Everything I do, it fucking sucks. People look at me like I'm some kind of machine. Like I wake up in the morning with a damn Rocky theme song playing, birds chirping, motivation dripping out my eyeballs. You think I'm excited to run? You think I'm excited to study the same chapter for the 10th time to stretch a body that's been beat to shit for 3 decades? Nah. I don't wake up with passion. I don't wake up with motivation. I wake up with war. See, the shit that separates me from you and most of the world is that I do it anyway. That's it. I do the shit I hate every single day of my life. And not once, not for a 30-day challenge. I've been doing it for 30 fucking years. 30. And you still think this is about being motivated. Man, I hate the word motivation. I hate all those damn buzzwords people keep throwing around like they're magic spells. Motivation, purpose, passion. Shut the fuck up. You don't need another TED Talk. You don't need another feel-good quote. What you need is discipline. What you need is to look at your life and say, this shit is going to suck. And I'm going to do it anyway. You know where I was when I made that decision? I was 300 pounds, working a dead-end job. Couldn't read. Couldn't fucking spell my way out of a Denny's menu. My life was a train wreck. And you know what I did? I didn't cry. I didn't wait for help. I didn't sit on my ass waiting for some magical inspiration fairy to sprinkle glitter on me. I just did. I showed up. Every day, no matter what. Not for claps, not for likes. I wasn't trying to impress anyone. Hell, nobody was even watching. I was just a fat nobody with a stutter and a list of excuses long enough to choke a damn elephant. But I still showed up. I still ran. I still studied. I still suffered. And that's the secret. The ugly, painful, fucked up truth no one wants to say out loud. Man, people keep asking me, what's the trick? What's the hack? What keeps you going Goggins? Motherfucker, it's pain. Pain is my fuel. Suffering is my oxygen. Discomfort is my daily bread. And you want what I have, you better be ready to do what I do. And what I do is wake up and fight. Not once, every single day. You think that gets easier. You think I figured it out. And now life's a breeze. Get the fuck out to here. I'm still limping into my runs. My knees are jacked. My back's a damn roadmap of injury. I'm 49 years old. Every step hurts. Every page I study makes my brain scream. But I'm still out here doing it. And why? Because if I let even one day slip, that old version of me, that weak ass donut eating excuse factory I used to be, he comes right back. And he ain't dead. He's just hiding, waiting for me to get soft. So, yeah, everything I do sucks. But I love that it sucks. I need it to suck. Because that's how I know I'm doing it right. That's how I know I'm alive. You think life's supposed to feel good. Fuck that. That's some Disney Channel fantasy bullshit. Real life is pain. Real life is friction. You want to make something of yourself. You better get comfortable being uncomfortable. And the wild part is, once you lean into the suck, once you stop running from it and start walking into it, you start to realize something. The suck is where the growth is. That pain you're feeling, that's your body, your mind, your soul leveling the fuck up. But most of you tap out before you even get there. You feel the first sting and run back to comfort like a scared little kid. You want to know what greatness feels like. It feels like getting punched in the gut every day and showing up again anyway. It feels like looking at the mountain, knowing you've climbed it 100 times and saying, let's go again. It feels like doing shit that sucks and smiling through the blood. Not because it's fun, not because it's easy, because it's necessary. So yeah, don't ask me what I enjoy. Don't ask me if I'm happy. Don't ask me if I'm balanced. That shit don't exist in my world. You want to be great. Man, people love talking about focus like it's some trendy ass productivity tool. They say I'm focused because they put their damn phone on airplane mode for 15 minutes. That ain't focus. That's bullshit. Let me tell you what focus really is. It's war. It's dragging your tired, broken, fuck this shit mind through something that makes your soul want to fucking quit and doing it anyway. Not once, every fucking day. You want to grow that willpower muscle. You want to become someone who doesn't fold under pressure. Then you better stop doing shit you like. Cause here's the truth, doing hard shit you enjoy doesn't grow you. It's doing the shit you hate over and over. That turns you into a savage. You like ice baths. Guess what? They ain't building shit in your brain anymore. But you hate cold water. You hate waking up early. You hate grinding when no one's watching. Good. That's the shit that grows your brain. That's the shit that rewires your ass from being a weak little excuse making fuck into someone who don't break. There's this thing in your brain called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. I didn't know the name, and I don't give a fuck about the name. But when Huberman told me what it does, I smiled. Because I've been training that motherfucker for 30 years without even knowing it. That part of the brain, it grows when you do shit you don't want to do. not when you grind easy, not when you crush something you like. It grows when you step into the fire scared, unprepared, and do it anyway. That's the fucking juice. And here's the thing. If you stop doing the hard shit, it shrinks again. That's why I stay hard. That's why I never turn it off. Because the moment I do, the growth dies. And that fat little scared kid I used to be, he crawls his ass right back into the driver's seat. You want to grow your will. You want to build the strength to face your own demons. Then you better wake up every day and choose to suck. And don't come at me with that Goggins, you were born with a strong mind crap. I built this shit brick by fucking brick. Decades of pain. Decades of facing down my weaknesses over and over. Until that weakness cry for mercy. You don't get to rent greatness. You don't get to visit it on the weekends. You want it. You better fucking live in it. And guess what? It ain't pretty. It don't feel good. It's not some pretty montage music in slow motion. It's you alone doing something that feels like death, sweating, crying, screaming, and still going. That's focus. You don't get that from reading a book. You don't get that from watching a podcast. You get that from walking into your own hell, eyes wide open, and refusing to come out until you own the place. You don't need to be motivated. You need to be fucking obsessed. You need to wake up and attack your day like you're hunting a version of you that wants to quit. Because that version, he's coming. Every day. And the only way to kill him is to bleed. Every damn day. Most of you, you want balance. You want comfort. You want to grow. But only if it feels good. Fuck that. Growth don't live in comfort. It lives in the trenches. In the long, dark hours where no one's clapping, no one's posting, and no one's watching. It lives in the reps that make you question everything. You want peace. Then go earn your war. You want strength. Then break yourself 1,000 times and come back harder every time. People say, I don't smile. Yeah, I look like I'm miserable. You think I'm miserable? Nah. Motherfucker, I found something you ain't got. Purpose. Real purpose. Not the fake shit you post about online. The kind of purpose that makes you willing to suffer forever. That makes you get up when your knees are shot, when your soul's tired, when your brain is screaming quit. That's focus. And once you touch that shit, once you learn what it feels like to push through what used to break you, you'll never be the same. You'll find out who you really are. Most people don't know. They've never even met themselves. They've never been to the place where their excuses die. But I lived there. I built a damn house there. And the key to that place is suffering over and over until there's nothing left but truth. So yeah, enjoy your playlists, your supplements, your cozy routines. I'll be in the dungeon doing the shit I hate again. Look, man, discipline is the only way. You want results, discipline. You want peace, discipline. You want to stop waking up every day feeling like a weak, fake-ass version of yourself. Discipline. Not motivation. Not purpose. Not some fluffy-ass morning routine bullshit you saw on TikTok. It's raw fucking discipline. See, people think I live this miserable life. They look at me running in the rain, in the cold, shirt off, pissed off, and they think I'm some tortured soul. They say shit like that guy must be miserable. Nah, motherfucker. I'm real. I'm the most alive son of a bitch you'll ever meet. Why? Because I've trained myself to do the shit nobody wants to do. And I do it without hesitation. And that's the secret. That's the whole fucking thing. I don't wait to feel like it. I don't wait until it's convenient. I don't look for passion. Passion is for amateurs. I get up and do it because it needs to get done. Period. Every day I wake up and guess what? My knees hurt, my back hurts, my brain says stay in bed. You think I enjoy that? You think I smile my way through the pain? The fuck no. But I get up anyway because that's discipline. I don't have to do this shit. I'm a millionaire. I can sit on my ass and pretend like I'm some guru and live off my past. But that ain't me. That ain't ever gonna be me. Why? Because I built a fucking monster inside of me. And that monster wakes up every day looking for war. You ever wonder why you feel like something's missing in your life? You got money, you got a nice house, good looking partner. Everything looks perfect from the outside. And inside you're still fucking empty. You know why? Because discipline is the only thing that gives you real purpose. It's the only thing that tells your soul you matter. You're waking up soft, living soft, thinking soft, and wondering why you feel like shit. That's because you've never been in the trenches. You've never had to suffer for something real. You've never had to fight your own weak-ass voice and beat it into submission with consistency. You've been sold a lie that life is about comfort, that you need balance, that you should listen to your body, follow your feelings, find your why. Nah. Man, your body is lying to you. Your feelings are lying to you. Your why is probably just another excuse. The only truth you'll ever find is in the pain, in the repetition, in the discipline that shows up even when you don't want to. You think I built this mind from a fucking self-help book. Hell no, I built it from years of facing shit that broke me, then choosing to come back for more. Every day. No applause. No cameras. It's me in the grind. Me in the fucking war I started and never stopped fighting. Discipline isn't something you get. It's something you become. You start small, real small. You lace your shoes up when you don't want to. You show up to study when you feel like a damn idiot. You go for the run when your knees scream. You stop negotiating with the weak part of you and tell it to shut the fuck up. You do that long enough, you become unrecognizable. And once you become that person, the kind who shows up regardless, you don't just do discipline anymore. You are disciplined. There's no off switch. There's no vacation from it. I don't take a break from being Goggins. I am Goggins every fucking second of every fucking day. People ask me when I'm going to retire. Retire from what? This ain't a job. This ain't a grind I clock in and out of. This is who the fuck I am. And I'll be doing this until I die or until my body literally falls apart. And even then, I'll find a way. Because discipline don't take days off. And greatness don't give a fuck about your excuses. You think I'm extreme. You're damn right I am. You think I go too far. Good, because most of you don't go far enough. You tap out at the first sign of pain, the first hint of discomfort, the first time your inner bitch raises its voice. Not me. I stomp that voice out every time because I know this truth. If I let one weak moment in, it'll multiply. That's how the darkness works. It creeps in slowly, quietly. And the second you take your foot off the gas, it owns you again. So I stay in gear. I don't care how I feel. I don't care if I'm tired or sore or broken. I don't wait for the right moment. I make the moment right by showing the fuck up. Every single time. Man, let me tell you something that most people don't want to admit. I'm not driven by some magical vision board or some fairy tale goal. Nah, I'm driven by something way darker. I'm haunted. Every damn day I wake up to ghosts, not the kind in movies, the real kind. The ones you carry around inside. The voice of that fat, scared, insecure little fuck I used to be. The kid who couldn't read, who lied to be liked, who looked in the mirror and saw a straight up loser. He's still in there. And I've spent every fucking day of my adult life trying to kill him, but he don't die easy. See, people think I'm hard because I like it, or because I was built for this. Nah, I'm hard because I have to be. Because if I ever soften, even for a second, that old version of me creeps the fuck back in. And I've seen what that looks like. I've lived it. And I refuse to go back. That's what haunts me. That's what fuels me. That's what gets me out to bed when my knees are screaming. When my back's wrecked, when my brain says, fuck this. You think I do this shit for motivation, for followers. You think I like waking up in pain every day. Nah. I do it because if I don't, I lose everything I've built. You ever wake up and feel like you don't know who you are anymore? Like something's missing. Even when you got money, the car, the job, the wife, the husband, all that shiny bullshit, you still feel empty. Yeah, that's cause there's a part of you that never got built. A part of you that's waiting for you to finally stop hiding. But instead you bury it under comfort. You bury it under good enough. That's not peace. That's a slow fucking death. Peace is looking in the mirror and knowing, I beat that motherfucker again today. I didn't let the ghost win. Not today, not ever. People don't understand me. They say, why would anyone choose that? That's the point. You wouldn't. You couldn't. Most people aren't ready to go to war with their past. They'd rather keep that shit buried and pretend everything's okay. They'd rather stay average, safe, normal. Fuck that. Normal is what got me fat. Normal is what got me bullied. Normal is what kept me from being a fucking man. I had to kill normal just to live. You think I wanted to wake up at 300 pounds and start from scratch? Relearn how to read at damn near 25. Admit to the mirror I'm a liar, a coward, a fraud. Hell no. But that's what it took. That's the cost of self-respect. You either face your demons or get eaten by them. And when you do, when you crawl through the pain, something wild happens. You change, not on the outside, on the inside. Your brain rewires. That voice that used to control you starts to shut the fuck up. And for the first time in your life, you see what you're actually made of. You want to know why I'm obsessed? Why I won't stop? Yeah. Because I'm scared of going soft, scared of letting my past win, scared of giving up on the one war that actually matters, and the war inside. That's why I stay haunted. I need to be haunted. It keeps me sharp. It keeps me angry. Keeps me hungry. People say, Goggins, you should relax, enjoy life, smile more. Smile. Motherfucker, I smile every time I finish a run with bloody toes and shredded knees, because that means I didn't quit. I smile when I open a book and learn something my brain told me I'd never understand. I smile when I hear that little voice whisper, you can't. And I say, watch me. That's my kind of peace. Not sitting on a beach sipping some drink, not floating in a fucking ice bath hoping for dopamine hits. My peace comes from war, from showing up when everything hurts, from doing the shit I hate, from proving day after day that I'm not that scared, broken little kid anymore. And if that makes me crazy, good. At least I'm not soft. Haunted, good. Let that ghost chase you. Just don't ever let it catch you. Man, this world is soft. Social media made it softer. That's why I don't fuck with it. Unless I've got something real to say. Let's cut the bullshit. Social media, I fucking hate it. Always have. Back in 2013, people started telling me, Goggins, you got to get online, tell your story, start posting. I told them, go fuck yourself. Real talk. Why? Because I knew what was coming. I knew the world was going to twist it. Take my pain, my suffering, and turn it into sound bites. Motivational quotes. Filters. Likes, nah, this ain't entertainment. This is survival. This is war. People scroll through Instagram and see a shirtless Goggins running through snow, yelling at the wind. And what do they say? Oh, he's crazy. They don't see the thousands of days I dragged my broken ass out to bed. They don't see the nights I didn't sleep, the mornings I couldn't bend over to tie my shoes. All they see is the surface, because that's what this culture is now. Surface, no soul. And the part that kills me, people want it that way. They want to be inspired without changing. They want to double tap greatness, not earn it. That's why I stayed off social for so long. I knew if I showed them the truth, they'd either mock it or misuse it, clip it, caption it, turn it into just another post in their grind highlight reel. But fuck it. I'm here now. And I'm only here for one reason. You need to call your soft ass out. Social media made you weak, addicted to applause. You post your salad, your workout, your little quote of the day, then you sit back and wait for validation. Let me ask you something. What happens when nobody likes it? And what happens when no one claps? Do you still do the work? Do you still suffer? Do you still show the fuck up? And or do you fold? Most of you fold. Because deep down, you're not doing it for you. You're doing it for them. For people you don't even fucking know. And then you wonder why you feel empty. You never earned any of it. You curated it, filtered it, staged it. You're living in a simulation. You don't even know who the fuck you are anymore. You're a walking highlight reel. And your soul knows it. That's why I post very little. That's why I don't care about followers or comments or going viral. I don't want to be liked. I want to be understood. And if that makes me an outsider, good. I've been one my whole life. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to haunt you, okay? To remind you what the fuck is possible when you stop chasing attention and start chasing greatness. You want the real secret to success. It ain't in the algorithms. Yeah. It ain't in the reels or the TikToks or the fucking hashtags. It's in the shadows, in the late nights when nobody's watching, in the early mornings when your bed is warm and your mind is weak, in the pain, in the repetition, in the silence. You think I need an audience to suffer. I suffer just fine alone. You think I need a camera to run. I ran thousands of miles before anyone ever heard my name. I built this life offline, in the trenches, in the dirt, in the dark. That's where greatness lives. And that's where most of you refuse to go because it ain't fucking glamorous. You'd rather make a motivational clip than be the motivation. You'd rather pretend to be tough than actually get tough. So here's my advice. If you're going to be on social, be real. Don't post what looks good. Post what hurts. Post the failure, the pain, the fuck ups. Post the truth. That's how we wake people up. And if you're not ready for that, then shut the fuck up and go do the work. Because real work doesn't need an audience. Real growth doesn't need applause. It just needs you and your pain and your discipline. And guess what? That don't go viral. Don't chase the likes, chase the war. The real ones don't need a platform. They build their legacy in the dark. Man, you can read all the books, follow all the gurus, spend all the money. But if you don't light the fire inside you, you're fucked. Let me get something straight right now. And don't sugarcoat this shit in your brain. Because the more you soften it, the less it sinks in. No one's coming to save your ass. Not me, not Huberman, not Rogan, not some motivational speaker on stage yelling about vision boards. Not a supplement. Not your mom, not God. You. That's it. People hit me up every day. Goggins, I read your book, bro. That shit changed my life. Cool. Then I see them a year later. The same weight, same excuses, same bitch-made habits. Why? Because they thought my book was the fix. It's not, it's a match. You still got to light the fire. And if you don't have anything in you, not even a spark, not even a sliver of self-hate, of disgust, of raw, fuck this version of me, then you're cooked. I can't help you. No one can. People keep searching for hacks, like there's some secret to leveling up without the pain. Like we're hiding the shortcut. Let me make this shit real simple for you. There is no shortcut. There is only suffering. I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying it because it's the truth. And the truth has been deleted from this soft-ass world. Everyone wants feel-good fixes. How do I stay motivated? How do I find purpose? You want to know how. You do shit that fucking sucks until you're too strong to be broken again. That's the process. That's it. In the beginning, it's going to hurt. It's going to feel like crawling through hell with no skin. You're going to be 300 pounds, cold as fuck in November, Indiana weather, and you're going to want to quit before you even start. But guess what? That's exactly where you need to be. Because that's where you meet the real you, not the online you, not the someday version of you. The raw ass, miserable, disgusted version who knows he needs to change. And until that version takes control, until he flips the switch and says, fuck this, I'm done being weak, nothing's going to change. People say Goggins, but it's so hard. Of course it is. It's supposed to be hard. You think changing your life is supposed to feel good? Nah, motherfucker. It's supposed to suck. It's supposed to break you, because only by breaking do you rebuild. You think I wanted to wake up every day overweight, broken, mentally shattered, and start running, and start dieting, start facing myself? Fuck, no. But I knew the alternative was worse. Living with yourself when you know you're full of shit. That's the real pain. You either suffer now, in the gym, on the road, in the silence of hard work, or you suffer later in the regret of knowing you could have been more, but didn't have the balls to try. And here's what's even more real. Some of why all don't want it. And that's fine. But stop pretending you do. If you're comfortable waking up miserable, if you're fine not being able to tie your own shoes, wipe your own ass, live with no energy, no pride, then hey, enjoy it. But don't come looking for answers if you ain't ready for the truth. Don't follow me unless you're ready to be haunted by that version of you that's hiding inside. Don't read my shit and expect magic. Expect work. Expect pain. Expect discomfort. Expect setbacks. But also expect progress. One step at a time. one rep at a time, one fucked up, I don't want to do this shit moment at a time. Because that's the only way out. You don't need another course. You don't need another seminar. You need a wake-up call. You need to stop being okay with being average. You need to stop looking for fire and be the fire. UV's you. And no refs, no timeouts, no fucking help is you. In the mirror. Man, you are waiting for the perfect time. That's how weak people stay weak forever. You want to know one of the biggest lies you've been told. Start Monday. Start on the hour. Wait till the timing's right. Fuck that. You wait for the right time and you'll be waiting until you're in the damn grave. This is the shit that kills momentum before it ever starts. People keep looking for some magic window. 1 p.m., first of the month, New Year's Day. They say, I'll begin when it feels right. Let me tell you something. It never feels right. You think I waited for a feeling to get started. You think I woke up in my 300-pound body, looked at the clock and said, perfect. Now it feels like a great time to suffer. Hell no. No. I started in the worst shape of my life, at the worst time of my life, when I hated myself so much I didn't even want to face the damn mirror. I didn't need perfect conditions. I needed to stop being full of shit. And I did. Not because the stars aligned. Not because someone held my hand. But because I realized the only thing between me and the life I wanted was a decision. Start now. Not later. Not tomorrow. Not when the sun's out. Now. Now. Some of why all are paralyzed by planning. You want to start on the hour. You want your notebook perfect, your gym clothes matching, your playlist cued. You're soft. You're scared. Real growth starts in chaos, in the mess, in the middle of the shit you're trying to avoid. And here's the truth. If you're waiting for the right moment, it means you're not serious. It means you're still bullshitting yourself. You either start now or you don't start at all. That's why I say I'm haunted. Because I know I'll do it. Even when I don't want to. Even when I'm tired, broken, wrecked, behind schedule. I still do the work. Why? Because I've trained it. Because I know I'm not talented enough to wait. Some of you are gifted. You can slack and still win. I'm not that motherfucker. Never was. So I outwork everybody. I go again and again and again. When you're not gifted, you don't get to chill. You don't get to say, I'll do it later, because later becomes never. And next thing you know, you're 50, fat, bitter, and wondering what the fuck happened. You want the truth. You were waiting too long for nothing. You let the clock punk you. You let routines replace hunger. You got soft chasing the illusion of control. I see people all the time who used to be something, used to run, used to lift, used to study. And now they're reminiscing about high school, about back when I was in shape. Fuck what you were. What are you now? Because that's all that counts. Every day you've got a choice. Keep pretending you'll start when it's perfect, or start right now and accept that it's going to suck. And yeah, it's going to suck. The early days, fucking miserable. You'll fail, but you'll stumble. You'll feel like you're going nowhere. But guess what? That's the price of change. You want to stop being average. You have to sacrifice. You have to say fuck it to comfort, to the schedule, to the clock, to the ideal conditions. You have to bleed for your better self. Because here's the raw deal. Success doesn't care about your calendar. You think greatness waits for the right time. You think it gives a damn about your sleep tracker or your meal prep. Greatness shows up when you do. Tired, good, behind. Even better. Feel like shit. Perfect. That's where the real ones are made. And you don't get there with clocks and calendars. You get there by deciding that nothing, not time, not talent, not how you feel, will stop you. You want change. Start now. Not when it's convenient. Not when you feel ready. Now, you either move when it's hard or you stay stuck forever. Man, you think weakness is your curse. Nah, motherfucker. It's your fuel. You know what's funny? People hear me now, yelling, pushing, going to war with life. And they think I've always had this voice. What they don't know is I used to stutter so bad I couldn't get a full sentence out. I'd sit in class trying to answer a question, And the whole room would start laughing before I could even speak. Pretty red-faced, hating every second of it. You think that builds confidence. Nah, that shit breaks people. But here's the difference. I didn't let it define me. I turned it into fuel when you're weak. Really fucking weak. The world either crushes you or wakes you up. Most people stay crushed. They stay silent. They stay scared. Not me. I leaned into the pain. I stopped hiding and started using it. I told myself, this weakness is mine now. I own it. And I'm going to beat it every single fucking day. I worked. I practiced. I read books out loud when no one was around. I talked to myself in the mirror. I trained my voice the way I trained my body. And through repetition, through failure, through fire. And guess what? My stutter didn't disappear. I just stopped giving it power. Most of you are still controlled by your weaknesses. You hide them, you bury them, you pretend they're not there. But if you want to grow, if you want to fucking change, you got to do the opposite. You grab those weaknesses by the throat and say, let's go, motherfucker. Weakness isn't your curse. It's your test. And if you pass it, it becomes your weapon. That's how I became this version of Goggins. Not because I was born tough, but because I dragged my weak ass through hell until I came out steel. So what's your weakness? Your body, your mind, your fear, your self-doubt. Good. Now do something about it. Weakness isn't a death sentence. It's a challenge. Accept it. Own it. And then beat its fucking ass. Man, people think I was born confident because of how I walk, how I talk, how I take the mic like I own the room. But what they don't see is what it cost me to build that. The years of humiliation, the fear, the silence, the nights I couldn't even say my own damn name without stuttering. You think that's where confidence is built? Fuck no, that's where confidence dies. Unless you fight for it. Therapy didn't fix my stutter. Reading books didn't fix my insecurity. All that shit helped a little. But what really fixed it was war. I went to war with myself. Every single day. I kept showing up until my inner bitch stopped showing up. I used to walk into rooms and hope no one noticed me. I'd pray I wasn't called on to read. If I saw I was next, I'd leave the room. That's how afraid I was to speak. Now, put me in front of 10,000 people. I'll take the mic and burn that motherfucker down. Because I earned this. Through pain, through repetition, through doing shit I was terrible at until I wasn't terrible anymore. Confidence doesn't come from success. It comes from surviving failure. Again and again. From being the worst in the room and not quitting. From choosing not to hide. You want to be confident. Then stop looking for hacks and start doing hard shit. Speak when you're scared. Run when you're tired. Study when you're lost. Keep going when everything in you says stop. That's the real formula. And yeah, to do that, I had to sacrifice. I didn't always eat right. I didn't always sleep enough. I gave things up because to gain real confidence, something has to go. That's the tax. You want to walk into any room and feel like the baddest motherfucker there. Then you better be willing to suffer for it. Confidence doesn't come from comfort. It comes from doing the shit you're scared of over and over until it bows down to you. Confidence is forged in the fires of fear. You either face it or stay small forever. Man, if they don't understand your mission, they'll become your obstacle. Let's get this shit straight. I'm not against love. I'm not against relationships. But if you don't handle them right, they'll kill your growth. People always think the ones who love us most are going to be the ones who push us the hardest. But the truth, most of the time, they're the ones who hold us back without even realizing it. They want you to sleep in. They want you to relax. They want you happy. They want you comfortable. But what they don't understand is, and your mission doesn't allow for that. You think Goggins got here by sleeping in and cuddling on a Sunday. Nah, motherfucker, I got here by bleeding for this life. And for me to stay here to keep becoming the baddest version of me, I can't let anyone fuck with that process. Not even the people I love. So what do? I give first. I give everything they need. Support, money, time, a house, love. But once I give them that, once they've got everything, leave me the fuck alone. Because now it's my time. Time to suffer. Time to train. Time to think, to grind, to grow. And if they can't accept that, they're not my people. Now it's TA. Plain and simple. I had to learn this the hard way. For years, I tried to please everyone. I tried to be the nice guy, the balanced man. You know what happened? I died inside. I gave them everything, but I left myself empty. And you can't live like that. That's not love. That's slavery. So now, I tell people up front who I am. I'm intense. I'm unbalanced. I'm driven by demons. I'm fueled by discipline. If that ain't for you, cool. But don't step in my life thinking you can soften this storm, because I need the storm. My willpower, that's my fuel. And if I don't protect it, I become that fat, insecure, broken version of me again. I may not look like him anymore, but trust me, he's still in there just waiting. So yeah, I love hard, I give hard. But I also grind harder than anyone you'll ever meet. And that means boundaries. That means honesty. That means saying, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. Love won't save you, but honesty might. If they can't accept your grind, they don't deserve your growth. Man, the second you stop lying to the world, your real life begins. You want to know why most people feel empty? Because they've never told the fucking truth. Not to their friends, not to their partners, not even to themselves. They wake up every day playing a character, pretending to be confident, pretending to be happy, pretending they're in control. But inside, they're a damn mess. And they know it. That's why they never sit still. That's why they need the music loud, the TV on, the phone in their hand, anything to avoid the mirror. But let me tell you something. The mirror doesn't lie. And if you ever want to change, if you ever want to grow, if you ever want to start your life, you've got to sit the fuck down and face it. That's what I did. I said, I'm broken. I'm weak. I lie. I'm insecure. I'm scared. And when I said it out loud, something shifted. Not outside, inside. Because I wasn't hiding anymore. And when you stop hiding, you finally start living. People always ask me, Goggins, how'd you build this mindset? It's simple. I stopped bullshitting myself. And yeah, people call me crazy for how honest I am, but that's only because they're scared of their own truth. I've got nothing to hide. I've been through hell and I didn't fold. So say what you want. Judge me all you want. You know who gets to talk shit? The person in the fire. If you're in the fire every day, facing your truth, doing the work, you get to speak. But if you're lying to yourself, coasting, pretending, sit the fuck down. This game ain't for you yet. And don't tell me you don't know how to start. Start by being honest. Say the shit you've been scared to say. Admit the things you've been running from. Own your weaknesses. That's the beginning. And once you do that, you stop giving a fuck about what people think, because you've already faced the worst version of yourself and survived it. Man, if you always need a pat on the back, you'll break when life stops clapping. Everyone's chasing that high, that compliment, that attaboy moment. Social media trains you like a damn dog. Sit, stay, good job. And guess what? That shit makes you weak. You think motivation comes from other people. You think it's someone else's job to get you moving. Then you're not ready. Let me tell you how I survived, how I thrived, how I became Goggins. Unseen work. I trained in the dark, ran alone, suffered alone, cried alone, failed alone. And every time I wanted to quit, I didn't call a friend. I didn't scroll a quote. I dug inside myself and pulled out the only medicine that ever worked. Me. You want that kind of fire, then you got to build it inside. That means doing shit when no one's watching and when no one's clapping. When it's just you in the mirror and the pain, because that's how you stock your internal medicine cabinet. Every time you do something hard by yourself, you're putting another tool on that shelf. So when the darkness comes, and it will, you open that cabinet, reach in and say, you did this before. You'll do it again. Now get the fuck up. That's why I don't need caffeine. Don't need pre-workout. Don't need a damn soul. I've got Goggins. That's enough. And here's the part no one wants to hear. You got it too. But if your cabinet's empty, if all you've got is quotes and hype and trends, you're screwed. You've got to earn that internal fire 1 mile at a time. One cold morning, one shitty rep, one lonely win. Do that long enough and you'll never need applause again. You don't need motivation. You need memory. Remember what you survived. That's your power. Man, discipline is doing it when the tank's empty and no one's watching. People always ask me, how do you stay so motivated? I don't. Let me say that again. I don't. Motivation is a luxury. You don't need it. What you need is discipline. What you need is friction. You need that internal switch that flips when the world is quiet and your body says, stay down. And you say, fuck that. You move. You think I wake up every day fired up? Hell no. There are mornings I can't even explain what gets me going. I'm tired. I'm empty. My mind is foggy. But I get up, I run, I stretch, I work, I go to war. Not because I want to, because I've trained myself to never negotiate with weakness. Most of you wait for a signal, a feeling, a burst of energy, a spark. That's your problem. Discipline doesn't wait. You've got to program yourself to act without permission. No pre-workout, no playlist, no applause. It's the decision to do it because you said you would. And yeah, that makes me different. That's why people call me crazy, because I don't need the same shit they need. I've trained myself to move without a reason, to go without a plan, to suffer without sympathy. You want to be elite. Then you better learn to show up when you've got nothing left. That's the difference between motivation and discipline. One dies in the fire, the other was born in it. If you only move when you feel like it, you'll never move when it counts. Man, you want to know what pisses me off? People think they know me. They see a clip, me running, cussing, feet bleeding, shirt off, yelling who's going to carry the boats. And they think they get it. They don't. That's just the tip. That's the outer shell. What built this? It wasn't hype. It wasn't swearing. It wasn't even running. It was being in the deepest, coldest, darkest water of life and refusing to drown. Every fucking day I was in that mental ocean, cold, alone, locked in with my own demons. The voice saying, you're nobody. You've always been nobody. They quit. That's the real me. That's the voice I had to fight. That's the hell I had to beat. So when you hear me screaming, it's not a performance. It's survival, that rage, that passion, that cussing. It's the fucking language of war, because that's the only way I learned how to speak to myself. And yeah, it frustrates me that people don't get it. But you know what? They don't have to, because I'm not here to be understood. I'm here to be free. And the only way to be free is to live real. And you want peace. You want power. Then stop trying to be understood. Stop trying to explain yourself to people who've never been where you've been. Let your work speak. Let your discipline speak. Let your action scream so loud that your truth doesn't need subtitles. You don't need them to get it. You need to get yourself and fight like hell to stay that way. Man, you ever feel like your brain is against you? That voice in your head saying you're a piece of shit. You'll never change. You're wasting your time. That's the first voice. That's the default. And the weak one, the broken version of you that's been on repeat your whole damn life. And most people, that's the only voice they ever hear. But here's what separates me. And what can separate you? I built a second voice. That second voice wasn't born. It was created through pain, through pressure, through studying the mind like my life depended on it, because it did. You don't just become better. You build better. Thought by thought, step by step, fight by fight. Every run, every study session, every moment I didn't quit when my mind said give up. I was feeding that second voice, and now it speaks louder. So when I'm in the freezing water, when I'm injured, exhausted, bleeding, broken, when I hate what I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway, that second voice kicks in and says, you're still here. Let's fucking go. Most people never get there. They never build that voice. So they stay stuck with the first. the one that tells them they're weak, worthless, too far gone. I was that voice, and I crushed it by creating one stronger. And now I don't run because I love it. I run because it's war, because it's where the second voice wins every time. So ask yourself, which voice are you listening to? And more importantly, which one are you building? The first voice doubts you. The second one destroys doubt. You just have to build it. Man, the second life gets easy. I kill the beast that made me. You ever wonder why I still jump out of planes into fires? And why I still run when I don't have to? Why I still put myself in situations that suck? Because I know the truth. Success kills hunger. The more money you make, the more comfort you stack, the more people kiss your ass, the more the animal inside you starts to fade. And I'll never let that happen. I could take the easy route. Do speaking gigs all year. Sell supplements. Write more books. Put on a nice show. Get soft. Get rich. And lose everything I fought to become. That's not an option. Because this mindset, this willpower, this weapon I built, it's a perishable skill. And the only way to keep it sharp is to suffer. That's why I do shit like smoke jumping. That's why I live like I'm broke even when I'm not. That's why I still wake up at war every day. Because if I don't, I become just David Goggins, not Goggins, not the savage, not the man forged in hell. Just a dude with stories living in the past. I refuse to let that happen. People think I'm obsessed with struggle. And they're right, because struggle keeps me honest. It keeps me real. It keeps me connected to the source of my power. Aim. You want to know the best feeling in the world. Looking another man in the eye and knowing every word you speak is real. No lies, no pretending, no what ifs. This truth built from action. That's what I earned. That's what I protect. That's why I kept success. Because when life gets too easy, I start to slip. And when I slip, that weak version of me starts creeping back. And if he takes over, it's game over. So yeah, I sacrifice comfort. I sacrifice money. I sacrifice normal. Because I know what's at stake. And it's not a paycheck. It's my soul. I don't chase success. I chase suffering. Because suffering keeps the beast alive. Man, your next move isn't online. It's in your head, waiting for silence. You're lost. You don't know what to do next. So what do? You scroll, you text, you Google. You ask strangers for answers about your life. And that's why you stay lost. Let me tell you the truth. You already know what to do. But the reason you can't hear it, you've never shut the fuck up long enough to listen. People say they want peace. They say they want purpose. But they refuse to sit in silence with their own thoughts. I go inward every single day. No phone, no noise, no one texting, calling, validating, distracting. It's just me and the war going on inside my head. And yeah, those voices at first, they're ugly. They'll say, you're nothing. You're weak. You'll never change. Good. Let them speak. Because once they get tired, you start hearing the real voice. The one that tells you what's next, what you really want, what you have to do to get there. Most people never reach that point. They drown in the noise before the truth ever rises. But not me. Every day I sit with it. I paint with it. I treat my day like a fucking canvas. And I let my mind create the mission. The next run. The next challenge. The next level. And the only way to paint clearly. Cut. Everything. Off. I don't do 20 podcasts a year. I do 2. I don't live on my phone. I block it out. Because this is the only way I can hear what matters. Me, you want to stop being confused? Then stop outsourcing your voice. Your mind knows what to do. You just haven't shut up long enough to listen. You're not lost. You're just drowning in everyone else's noise. Cut it off and you'll hear yourself again. Man, if you've only got one voice in your head, you've already lost. Most people live their whole lives under one voice. That voice says, be kind to yourself. Take a break, you're doing fine. And that sounds good. But for a lot of us, that voice is killing us. You think that voice helped me when I was 300 pounds. You think kindness got me out of 7-Eleven with a box of donuts and a chocolate milkshake in my hand? Fuck no. That voice was soft. That voice was poison. That voice kept me broken. So I built another voice, a harder voice, a stronger one. One that looked at my excuses and said, that's bullshit. You're better than this. And once that second voice showed up, everything changed. Because now there was conflict. And conflict brings clarity. That's what most people are missing. They've got one voice, and it's the soft one, the comfort voice, the you deserve rest voice. And since there's no opposing opinion, they just follow it straight into mediocrity. I built a fucking war room. Multiple voices, all of them mine, some weak, some strong, some questioning, some doubting. But I learned how to lead them. I learned how to listen, how to argue, how to win inside my own damn head. And from that internal chaos came action. That's what people don't get. They see what I do. The runs, the speeches, the pain, the grit. But what they don't see is the boardroom in my mind, the endless meetings I have with myself, the daily negotiations, the true sessions. That's where greatness is forged. Not in the body, but in the brain. So, yeah, this ain't just positive self-talk. This is internal warfare. And if you want to survive it, you better build more than one voice. You better create the one that calls you out, drags you through the fire, and forces you to rise. The world only sees the action. But it's the internal war that writes the story. Man, victory don't come first. Failure does. And it's a motherfucker. Everybody wants to win. Everybody talks about success, greatness, legacy, all that shiny bullshit. But nobody wants to talk about the one thing that guarantees all of it. Failure. Not the inspirational failure you read in a book. Not the cute, learn a lesson and grow kind of failure. I'm talking about real failure. The kind where you're 300 pounds, can't read, can't swim, and your dream is to become a Navy SEAL. Yeah, that kind. You want to win. Learn how to lose first. Learn how to get laughed at. Learn how to be told you'll never make it. Learn how to hear your own voice telling you this is impossible and keep fucking going. See, I didn't start with confidence. I didn't start with some master plan. I started with failure. Over and over. And every time I failed, I didn't ask why me. I asked what now? That's what built me. That's what built Goggins. And you better believe the voices in my head didn't help. Most days, all of them were screaming, you're done. But I had one that whispered, not yet. And that whisper was enough because I trained it, because I earned it, because I bled for it. Most people never make it because the first time they fail, they stay down. They get soft, they listen to the noise, the critics, the trolls, the quitters around them. But me, I shut them out. I shut my own weakness out. And I built a process so strong that even when I wanted to quit, I didn't. That's the key. It's not just mindset. It's not just habits. It's deep, painful, time-tested belief in yourself that comes from years of going at it alone. You don't need approval. You don't need backup. You don't even need motivation. You need to get comfortable losing, because that's the real path to winning. Before I could carry the boats, I had to carry failure. Stay hard.